Okay, finally, I was having like the circle of death happen while I was trying to go live, and it was like going round and round. I had to refresh my page, so it took me a minute to get here. And I'm like, okay, anytime soon. Anyway, happy Sunday. Um, Post Valentine's. So I hope you guys had a great Valentine's Day. Mine was okay. It wasn't like the best Valentine's ever, but it was suitable. It was good. I went out with my boyfriend. We went to the movies, and we just had a general, good time. It's just like I realize like I'm getting freaking old. I can't stay up late. I can't stay up late anymore, and then wake up early and live off of 5 hours of sleep. It just can't be done. I'm not that young 20 something anymore. It's rough. I can't do it anymore. I was so dragging butt yesterday. It was not funny. Like I couldn't even rub two brain cells together. I was exhausted. And so yesterday was just a lazy day. I just really did a whole lot of nothing. So I did go to bed early. I feel a whole lot better today. Trying to get some stuff done. Roommate's taking a nap, so I'm like, well, since he's taking a nap, I can go live because I'll have a quiet house without somebody making racket and moving things around in the background. So if he does wake up, I'm probably gonna scoot off, but it just depends. Sometimes he gets up and goes to the bathroom and he'll go back to sleep, and sometimes he's like, "Oh, I'm up." I'm like, "Okay, fine." So I'm still continuing on this baby cardigan. I was working on this one, and I realized like I was like into like the last stretch of it, and I had put the sleeve on inside out, so I had to frog it and go back in and rework some of the back panels and everything, because that means that I had put some of the back panels on the wrong side of the sleeve. So not only was the sleeve inside out, I was putting it on the wrong, the back panel to the hexagon, hexicardy. Okay, hexicardy. And I think this is the hectagona one. If you're not sure who that is, Hectaguna is a crochet artist, and she has a channel here, and she's got a real popular um, crochet. No, this is not Hectaguna one. This is somebody else. Which one is this one? This is just for baby cardigans. But if you want to do an adult size hexicardy, then that's Hectaguna one. But this is a baby sized one. This one is who is this by? Okay, I wrote it down in my book. It's hardbound. Okay. Who is it? Okay, it's by Craft and a Cuppa. That's who it is. So if you're ever curious about whose pattern that I'm using right now, it's Craft and a Cuppa. I need to remember to put that in the description box down below, and to add the link to the video in my description box. I need to write that down because I need to make that a priority. I'm trying to get back on the horse, kids. This merry-go-round needs attention. Okay. All right. Add Craft and a Cuppa to Sunday live. Okay. And I'm getting to the point where if I just don't write it down, I'm not going to remember. I try to make like every thought that comes to my head that I'm trying to figure out, like, okay, this is what I need to remember to do. If I write it down, it's just kind of like I can refer back to it, and I'm like, okay, what was I thinking earlier? Like, oh yeah, I was going to do that thing. And if I don't complete it on that day, then I can move on to the next day. And I just try to work down my list as best I can. Sometimes it takes a week for some things to be on that list to be done, but at least they get done. And I didn't forget about them, you know? Hi, Rudy. How are you? Do you prefer to count from 0 to 99 or 0 to 100? I would like to see your handwriting from 0 to 99 or 0 to 100. Well, Rudy, that's going to take some work. And my handwriting's it's all right. And, I'm not going to do that because it's just, I'm just not into that. But you can practice doing it. You can practice your handwriting. I love practicing my own personal handwriting. I like to write by hand. So sometimes I can't even read my own handwriting, but I still like to do it. But okay, so let me count how many stitches I have. Just to have 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Yeah, buddy. I got her done. Okay, now I'm going to do one more row, front post, back post. And I will be done with the cuff, and then I get to do the ribbing around the neck. So I might have to take a few minutes to read the directions for that one. Okay, so I made a smaller cardigan, and I totally 100% forgot to put the ribbing on the cuffs, and I forgot to put the ribbing on around the neck. And then I made little ties for the front of it, and I don't know what I was thinking. Like, I don't know. I just didn't, I guess I didn't turn the page, or I was just too impatient. So that's probably what it was. I was just probably being too impatient. I just wanted to get it done. I hadn't made one in quite a while, probably about a year. So I think it was a year ago that I made my first one. And I really like how they turn out. They're really super cute. But I've not sold one. But I need to make some in, like I said, I'm going to make this one in gray. And I think this one's already spoken for. So I'm going to send this to a family member. And so that is what's happening with that. Am I doing this wrong? I feel like I'm doing it wrong. Okay, no, I'm not. Maybe ask my stitch marker. 1, 2, 3. Any hoozle. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other big channels going on today. But, I just wanted to get on and say hi. I haven't done a lot of lives recently. So just kind of getting back into the swing of things. So I've been trying to get back into watching YouTube again. So right now, I don't go to a lot of lives right now. I've just been kind of hitting people's blog style videos, which is what I've been into recently. And so just kind of more about the crochet business side of things, So I'm just really been out of whack with the crochet community online. I haven't really been connecting with a lot of people at all whatsoever. And I used to be really into it. I used to be really wanting to really be part of this community. And then I just got so overwhelmed about, life in general right now. And I just need to to work through that. So I think there was a shift and a change that happened in my life, and it just really threw me out of whack. So trying to work past it, trying to work through it. I need to refocus. I've just been so discombobulated with life recently. So I'm trying not to let this get in my way, because this is my life. I need to control it as best I can. Okay. What did I just do? I feel like I just did something wrong. Here we go. I got it. So, excuse me, I gotta sneeze. Okay, sneeze inverted. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, got some things going on, or have been. It's like things go on and yet they don't go on. If you know what I mean by like that, it's like things happen at certain times and it just throws me out of kilter, and it's hard to get back into the swing of some things. Now I'm thinking about looking for a part-time job, because doing what I'm doing is not fitting. I need a consistent base of money. But here's the thing: like here, I still want to do my markets, so I need to do like a part-time job that's like a Monday through Friday gig, because a lot of my markets are weekends, and I don't want to have that get in the way of doing my markets. And then I don't want my part-time job to become a major priority and it distracts me from doing markets, and I don't want to get in the way. So it's just kind of like, what am I going to do? And I don't want to have a part-time job to where, all I do is come home and work on my thing and crochet, and then, but that may not be a bad thing. It really would just keep me busy, and that's probably what I need to do to help me refocus. So I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about going back to the schools to do school part-time work for the school district. Not necessarily mine, but maybe the next city, next suburb over, and see what they have for me. So trying to stay in my bus line area. If not, they used to call it Lighthouse for the Blind, and but it's now called something different. But for years it was called Lighthouse for the Blind, and they provided work for people who were blind. And there's different levels of blindness. Like not everybody's walking around with a cane and bumping into things. It's like there's different levels of blindness, and mine is like I'm to the threshold of being legally blind, so I have a hard time looking at things in fine print. Also, as my eyes have aged, it's really gotten things to be really, really difficult. Like I really have to read large print now, and when I'm looking at things, I've got to do the old moving the glasses up and down the nose all the time. I could get bifocals, but I just don't know. I don't know if that would work or not. I don't know. I would have to learn how to use those. I could try it. I really could. I could try it, but I'm not sure if I want to or not. Anyway, so, but for sure, I like the idea of doing thread crochet, like earrings and jewelry and stuff. I love doing that, but it takes a lot. It kind of gives me a little bit of an eye strain, so I can only do it for like a few minutes at a time. and but they're really easy to do. I can knock them out pretty quick. Actually, I can probably knock out about a pair of earrings, depending on the design. But usually the designs are pretty easy, and I can knock them out like, probably a pair of earrings for an hour. So maybe I can do that. So, and speaking of earrings, I think I'm going to start making some for getting ready for spring. Um, And then I need to start thinking of St. Patrick's Day stuff because my next market's going to be right before St. Patrick's Day. And so I need to start thinking St. Patrick's Day stuff. And then I was watching this other bloggist here on YouTube, another crochet blogger. And, you know, they were like expressing how, people who are, like pattern makers and, they're already doing tests for things that are in October and November and December. Like they're already getting ready for fall. And I'm like, fall and winter. And I'm just like, holy crap, yes, you have to think about that. And I was talking to my aunt about this, and she was saying, she's like, oh, I want to get some pumpkins from you for next year because, my grandson loves pumpkins. And I was like, yeah, I need to start making my pumpkins in July, because pumpkin season kind of starts in August, so, like official fall really kind of starts in August. Like as soon as back to school starts, which is like mid-August, it's like you hit the ground running and you're basically in fall. I mean, not actually in the sense of like the actual calendar fall, but like in the sense of like, buying aesthetically, like getting things, to celebrate fall and decorating and things like that. And that's just how we be. So, yeah, I have to like get into that mindset too. And I'm like, shoot, just let me get to Easter, which is, kind of cool. The fact that this year Easter is the day after my birthday. So I'm like, I love that. And I don't know why I love Easter the way that I do. And maybe because I've always had good memories of Easter. It is one of my favorite holidays as a kid. I always enjoyed getting an Easter basket. Um, so, yeah, it's just definitely one of my favorite um, holidays. And I understand the meaning behind it, but in general, I just love Easter because it's lighthearted. It's a family gathering. You're going there to, as a family. It is just fun for children. And it's not as, say, like Christmas is fun, but Christmas is a little bit more serious. Where Easter is not as serious in a way. It's like some people are like, hey, Easter egg hunt. For Christmas, it's like a month long, it's like 6 weeks to a month long event, where people are getting ready for parties and they're having, get togethers and family and friends. Easter is just a little bit like, it is more family oriented. You can do Easter egg hunts and everything, but, as a community, but we're, going to the church or something and you need to dress up, you dress up in, pretty clothing, Easter clothes and things like that. And it's a different mindset though. I mean, that is if you go to church and things like that. And it's a little bit different to me, but I really, really enjoy the idea of doing Easter. Like, every year I ask my mom, I'm like, hey, doing Easter dinner, and if I'm able to go or not. Sometimes I'm not able to go. In the past, I've had to work, so, and my mom's Catholic, so she like, I encourage her to go to mass. Like, hey, go to mass and enjoy that. So, Anyway, so far here's the little baby cardigan. I just got done with the sleeve. And so now I've got to work on the ribbing all the way down. And yeah, so that looks looking good. And it's kind of big, like for a baby cardigan. So I would say originally the cardigan goes out about 12 rounds. And the 12 rounds makes, oh, I'm sorry, my elbow hurts. This is the one I was talking about that I forgot to add the ribbing to. But it doesn't look too bad, you know. It's like I still might take away the little tie in the front and then definitely add ribbing to the sleeve, because the differences between the sleeves is, yeah, it looks so much nicer, looks a lot more finished right here. So faux show. I like it. I think it looks better as opposed to this one. And I've already woven on all my ends and everything on this. Like it, I treated it like a finished item. So, but I can definitely cut these off. These were crocheted around the posts. So I can definitely cut these off, and then I can add the ribbing to this one. I think it would, you know, definitely make it look a little bit more finished, especially on the neck. But this is probably, I would say this is probably about like a 0 to 3 months. That's probably what I would say. And then this one, I increased it to 14 rounds. And so there is an option to adding extra rounds to the sleeves. Which way am I going? There we go. Adding more slants to the sleeves, but I didn't do that. I just felt that it was long enough for a child's arm. So, you know. Hey, how are you? And I haven't been on very much, so I'm glad you're here. All right. So, yeah. And I think the ribbing is going to go all the way down and around. So, and see, and I think that ribbon is going to help with the back. See how the back looks a little bit uneven right here where it joins. So if I can try to get, I have we're using an old TV as a monitor right now. And my monitor decided it was going to crap out on me. So I don't have a really good point of view. So, like, it's kind of sucks. Hey, how are you? All right, cool beans. Thanks, guys, for popping in. Okay. So I'm going to start working on my ribbing, and that's going to work out. So give me a minute. I got to read this real quick for the ribbing on the outside. So, again, I'm just letting you guys know, since y'all didn't come in until just a few minutes ago. This is the hexicard, the baby hexicardie by Craft and a Cuppa. She's got a YouTube tutorial here online, and so I wrote it down in my little composition book. So this is an old composition book that I got from my sister's house when my nephews got out of elementary school, and they like brought home all their school supplies. Like, this book was like a, you know, like they were required to get, and then they only filled out like 10 pages. So I just ripped out the 10 pages, and I was like, I'm claiming this sucker. And they're like, fine, take it. It's just taking up space. I'm like, okay, fine. Yeah. So sometimes I handwrite my patterns down. And for some reason, when I handwrite them down, it helps me stick in my brain. but I think I started handwriting that before I started typing them down. But now that I'm having a problem with my printer, and I'm so glad that I had written this down in a book, because I was really having a problem with the printer right now. I don't know what the issue is. I cannot get it to like reset. Excuse me. Try not to sneeze. Excuse me. And I've got like loads of excuse me. I got loads of patterns that I have like typed out from YouTube tutorials. And what I like doing that, and the reason why I like doing that, because that teaches me how to do pattern writing. To do pattern writing in a way that I can understand how to explain things. So in the future, when I am writing a pattern, because I actually have some patterns that I have written myself, like I created them and written them, and I plan on releasing them later on. Um, but I think it would be, I think it's a good practice to do, especially if you want to be a pattern writer, which eventually I do. I don't have a lot of patterns that I have made myself, but there's some. I've got a few little ones. Okay. So, all right. Let me turn this. Let me see. It's the back filling runes. Okay. That's extra sleeve. That's the cuff. Okay. Oh, and I can also add length to the bottom of the cardigan. That's nice. Yeah. So she's got where in this pattern that she teaches you how to add extra length to the sleeve, and she also teaches you how to add extra length to the bottom of the cardigan. Which I think would be really nice, especially if you made this for like a toddler, and if you wanted to make like an extra long cardigan for like a toddler, that would be a really cool thing. That would be a really cute little thing. Like if you did like a mommy and me set, and then like to have like these extra long cardigans for like you and your little one, that would be really cute. I think so. Anyway, I thought about doing those mommy and me sets. I think that would be a lot of fun. I've got a friend of mine who has a granddaughter. Now I think she's going to be 8 or 9 this year. I think she's going to be 8. I want to say she's going to be 8. So she's not that little. She's kind of a solid kid, but I think she would love a mommy and me set, for her granddaughter and herself. I think that would be super duper cute. Okay. Let's see. That's adding extra length. Adding neckline. Okay. Turn work upside down. In the same color. Continue. Okay. Okay, so continue the chain 3, 2 double crochet into the space before. Yarn, slip stitch into on the left corner. Do space before the next 3. Okay, 3 single crochets. Okay, so okay. Join with the yarn already attached to your hook. Slip stitch into the double crochet post on the left corner. 3 single crochet. 2 double crochet into the space before the next 3 stitches. Okay. Ooh. And then I went to the gym on Friday. So I've been having a real problem with my left elbow, you know? And I was doing like, it was like, sorry, I feel like I got a slightly drippy nose. And I was having real bad problem with it since like Christmas. And it finally started feeling a lot better. And then I went to the gym on Friday, and I had been avoiding using the weight machines um, because of that issue. Um, and I finally used a weight machine for my arms, and I just did like the curls like this. I'm like, oh, like all of this right here and all of this right here. It hurts. It hurts, and my elbow's acting up again. So I can't even like extend my elbow without really hurting. Like I have a hard time straightening it out. Oh, it really hurts. It's like it only wants to go like this far. I can't even go straight. Like this arm, I can go straight, but this arm is like, oh no, I'm getting old, Jamie. Take your Metamucil. I know, getting old sucks. I'm gonna have that tattooed on my butt one day. Getting old sucks. They're like, what? I know, I'm bad. I'm a big girl. A little bit bad. I'm actually pretty good. Compared to some people I know, I'm a pretty nice person. All right, let's see. Okay, so join with. Okay, attach your new hook. I did it. Slip stitch into the double crochet post on the left corner. Chain 3, 2 double crochet into the space before the next 3 stitches. Adding neckline. Okay. All right. Okay. Skip 3 stitches. 3 double crochet in the next space. Around the seam in the back. Okay. Is this how my other cardigan looks? I thought I had edgy. I thought I had ribbing around the neck. I don't remember. I need to look at that again. Seriously. Okay. I really thought I had ribbing around it. Maybe I do. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. I need to like pull it out and look at it. And before I do that, I'm gonna, you know what, just to double check and make sure. Because I think it would look really nice if I had ribbing around the neck, like around the front. I really, really do. So this one's just saying maybe just adding neckline. Okay. And then maybe I can add ribbing to that. I don't know. Hey, Carrie, how are you? I know it's been a long time no see, right? Um, okay, so, okay, you're changing color. I'm not changing color. Turn your work upside down. Yeah. Okay, if you're changing color, join with your yarn already attached to the hook and slip stitch into the double crochet post on the left corner. Okay, I did that. Chain 3, 2 double crochet into the space before the next 3 stitches. Across to the right corner, the bottom of the cardigan. Oh, okay, I see what I'm doing now. Skip over the last 3 stitches, 3 double crochet into the very last space between the 3 double crochet, do a double crochet, chain 2 into the same space. Okay, I'm confusing myself here. I don't know what to do. Well, I'm hanging in there. I'm trying to figure out how to make this, finish off this cardigan. It's almost done. And I need to see a picture of it again, or I need to drag out the one that I currently have. But I'm thinking like it needs edging, and like maybe I don't have edging, so maybe that's why I think I was done with this one, but I'm not. I thought I was done with this one, but it needs something right here. It needs like an edging, and this one's like a 0 to 3 months, and I didn't put a cuff on it. And this one does have a cuff. So, but I'm thinking I want this kind of edging around the neck, So maybe I will fudge it and make that happen. So we'll see. We'll see. Like, because if I do it the same way, then I need to go single crochet all the way around. You know what? I think that's probably what I'll do is I will treat this the same way and see how it looks. If it looks too gathered, then I can just undo it. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to work that and then see how it looks. So do I, for the sleeve, for the cuff, okay, start with underside of the sleeve with your iron. I did that. Now slip stitch into the next stitch. Chain 1, single crochet the same stitch. Okay, yeah, see, they decreased. So what if I just don't decrease? So maybe I'll just do single crochet all the way across. You're going to have somebody say across. So be across. Okay. Or I can just go ahead and add ribbing. I'll just do that. I'll just go ahead and add the ribbing. But this will be in the corner. Okay. I'll just fudge it. I'm just going to fudge it. Okay. All right. Get over there. Okay. Slip stitch it. 1, 2, 3. Or should I? But that's going to look really confusing. So maybe I should add edging. Like maybe I should put like an extra round around the neck, and then that would give me a finer edge in order to put the single crochet or the ribbing. And then it could potentially flip out. That would look really cute. Like if I could do it like an edging that like a uh, a ribbing that would kind of like flip out, almost like a lapel in a way. That would be really kind of cute. I could do that. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. So let's add 2 here. I think that's gonna work out. Okay. I'm gonna make it work. That's what's great about crochet. It's like, you can play with it and then see if it works. If it doesn't work, you can just pull it right back out. But then sometimes that's just like that takes time. Sometimes, especially if you're a maker and you're just making it to sell, that takes time. You're trying to find things that are like more cost effective um, on your time because of the price. Like, okay, at one time I had this lady come up to me at a market, and she's like, "Oh, can you make me a shrug?" And blah blah blah. And then I told her, yeah, I can definitely make you one, but it's probably gonna take me about like about 3 hours to make. Just a basic one. And I told her how much it would cost. I don't think she was happy with the price I quoted her. Because like, well, ma'am, I don't. At that time I was paying myself $12 an hour plus materials, and everything like that. And a lot of people don't realize the materials is not what costs money. It's my time. And then, of course, I add on, a percentage to that. I add 42% on top of that. And the reason why I charge 42%, 30% is wholesale. Okay. So if I'm going to make any kind of profit, I add a 30% wholesale to that. Now, then I add an 8% for taxes. Okay. Then if I have credit card fees, which is what can't say it, which is what most people use nowadays, is credit cards. Very seldom do I actually get paid in cash. Well, I would say it's more like 40-60. Like I get 40% of my customers paying in cash, 60% pay with some kind of credit card or Venmo or some kind of electronic processing. So that has fees attached to it, up to 5%. So, granted, whether or not they use whichever they use, whichever form of payment that they use, I always add an additional 5% to my price for everything, and that not necessarily may not necessarily be used for that, but it's like it cuts a lot of the guesswork out. So if I have a little bit of extra money from people who are paying cash, that I'm okay with that, because then sometimes I have to go out and curate the yarn that I'm using for things. So it kind of helps work with fees, electricity, me going out to go get the ordering and things like that. I tend to have the tendency to go out to go get the yarn that I need, as opposed to ordering it, because ordering it takes time. And sometimes I'm just like, I don't have time to sit around and wait. I'm just going to go out and get it. Well, that's like a day almost. Usually when I go out and curate yarn, I usually don't start creating that day. It takes time for me to go do that because I don't drive. So since I don't drive, I have to order a car. I have to, and then sometimes I want to linger in the store and I want to look at things. And by the time I get back home, it's about mid afternoon. I got to start cooking dinner, So it's a day. It's a day to go out and curate yarn. Because life happens and things like that. So that's the way it's life. So I don't feel bad charging 42% on top of what it costs for me to make something, and uh, and the cost of my materials. So I don't really have a problem charging that. And some people are like, like, I can go to the store and buy one. Well, by golly, go to the store and buy something. Or you can have the prestige and say, look, I had this handmade. I had this custom made for me, you know? So I think that's also part of the difference between buying crap out of the store. And I'm not saying everything out of the store is crap. I'm not saying that. But I use crap as a general uh, description word for everything. Everything I own is crap. Okay, this is my crap, your crap. It's just how I talk. It's just the language that I use. Okay, so like when my sister's like, "Come on over." Okay, let me grab my crap. That's just kind of how we talk. Okay, it's just the way we talk. Okay, I'm not saying people's things are crap, but you know what I'm saying. So I'm not, I mean, it's like, but that's the difference between having something handmade and then having, something store bought. And, stuff on store bought, it's made on a machine. They can pump it out within minutes. This is blood, sweat, and tears. Almost in a weird way. For us to make it, it's slow fashion, and it's handmade, it's custom. And so it has a distinctive look. It has its own prestige because it has a distinctive look. It's a distinctive texture. So sometimes you have to encourage your customer. It's like, yeah, it's a distinctive look to it. So you want to encourage your customers to appreciate that prestige, that the item that you have is handmade, and you have to foster that. You have to encourage, like, yeah, this is gorgeous. It is handmade. It's a little bit more precious than opposed to something that's you know off the shelf or off the rack. So I don't, like I said, I don't have a problem charging extra money for that. Now some people are like, you need to charge more. And I said, yeah, I think I probably do. I probably do need to charge more, but I think it also depends on where you're selling at too sometimes. So where I live in a very blue collar neighborhood. It's very blue collar. And it's not that these people don't have money to spend. They do. It's just that they don't have the same type of value in certain things. Like the people of my neighborhood really do. I think they really like to follow trends. And right now crochet is trending. It is like a really big trend. And then whenever I go to markets, it's like there's like half a dozen crocheters there. And so like everybody's like really jumped onto this thing, and it's you have to set yourself apart from other crocheters, because you have a different aesthetic, you have a different style, the textures, the colors that you choose to use, and things like that. And so you really kind of have to set yourself apart a little bit. So I'm actually branching out into doing more than crochet. I'm starting to do a little bit of paper crafting, but not much. I'm starting to work into doing a little bit of jewelry, but not much. And the type of jewelry that I'm planning on doing is made from shrinky dink plastic or shrink plastic. So, um, and so I'm starting to get to doing that. And if you don't know what shrinky dinks is, just Google it, YouTube it, Pinterest it. You'll see what it is. So I can make like custom keychains and earrings doing the shrinky dink, things. You can make Christmas ornaments, whatever. I just thought of charm bracelets. So you can probably even do a shrinky dink charm bracelet. That's actually a cute idea. I need to write that down. Mm. But also, when you also go to markets, there's like a bazillion jewelry makers. But jewelry is like in the eye of the beholder. Like everyone has a different idea of like what kind of jewelry that they are. Some people like really funky jewelry. Some people just like a more classic, more understated piece, like an accent piece. And some people are just looking for statement pieces. So it's like, but there's just like a million and two jewelry makers. It just depends on what your aesthetic is. So, you and then I've heard people say like you need to niche down, you need to figure out who your target market is, and then you make for that target market. But it's like, sometimes it's hard to figure it out. It's like, but sometimes it's like I feel like I need a little bit more than just crochet for my booth, and it does help sometimes because I've actually included stickers, which is part of that, the paper um, aspect of things. Like I've added stickers. They're not my stickers. I bought them off Amazon. You know, but it's a small thing, and I've added it, and it actually helps. Like it's an additional purchase on top of things. So sometimes, I'll do the stickers, and then I got a lot of people who really do like that, and they'll hang out my booth. They'll sit and talk to me for a little while. They'll take my card, So maybe if I get them card, take my card, and maybe they'll remember me. So and of course, I have like a promo codes for if you follow me on social medias. You can do promo codes and things like that. Yeah, I give them like an extra, 5% off or something like that, and sometimes people like that too. So, so I'll do that, and let's see, what was I going to go with this train of thought? Oh yeah, I also added pencils and pens and things like that. So I don't know if you've seen them, but they're called like bead pens. So I had some for Christmas, and I made some up, but I only sold one. And some of the pencils are like the stacking pencils. You know what I'm talking? If you know what I'm talking about, I think I've got one right here. I'll show you. Is it here? No, it's not in here. I loaned it to my friend, and she was using it. But it's where you can stack the pencil lead. I used to love those things back um, when I was in school. And I sold a couple of those. I sold one pen, so I'm saving them for next year. So, with every season, I'm starting to include more things, but my concept is kind of switching to like the gift shop idea. And this is not an original idea from me. I got the idea from another YouTuber because she does a gift shop, and but she has crochet in her gift shop, and I'm like, I really, really like that, because before I really wanted to do some paper crafting, and um, that, before I wanted to do crochet markets, I want to do paper crafting markets. I was really looking into that. Like, I was really starting to get into it. Like, I bought a Cricut machine, which I have not even used. I've got paper crafting supplies and things like that. I have not used these things, but it was so much easier for me to pick up a hook and make an amigurumi, or make a hat or a scarf or something. That was just so much easier. And I really just got into it. And I was like, well, maybe I can do the crochet side of it. But like, that's what brought me to YouTube, is looking at paper crafting uh, tutorials. And then I was like, oh, this is a crochet tutorial, or this is a crochet video. And I was like, oh, who is this? And the first couple of people, and I want to say the first one that I saw on YouTube was uh, Lisa from Happy to Hook Creations. I want to say she's the first one that I saw. And I'm just like, I love her. I love her to bits. Um, and then after that, it was Bag O Day. Now, I do not watch a lot of Bag O Day. I know some of you are just like totally 100% on board with Bag O Day. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with her. You know, she's just, I don't know, she's just not my cup of tea all the time. I like Lisa. I don't watch Lisa every time, uh, but it's been interesting to watch these crochet channels evolve and develop and everything. And at first, I was like totally like, watching Back O Day, and I was like, oh, well, maybe I can win this yarn haul. And then after a while, I just got like, there's just like a million of these people, and the only reason why this person got so stinking um, big. Well, I'm gonna say big. One, for instance, the reason why she got so much attention, because she was doing all these giveaways, and but they introduced me, to yarn and things like that, and then I started seeing all the expansive yarn behind them, like their yarnscape behind them and everything, and then I wanted that, so now I have like a boat ton of yarn that I just don't even use, not right now, and I spent money on it. And it's like, they introduced the whole concept of the yarn, and curating the yarn, and to me it got to be where it was an unhealthy way of keeping up with the Joneses for me. So now I have to do a shift. It's like this, I got caught up in the whole, having to buy a massive amount of yarn, never being without yarn, going to buy new yarn. Oh, that's a nice, pretty yarn. That's a pretty color. It's a pretty texture. But in a way, it became like keeping up with the Joneses in a lot of ways. Like, I wanted what everyone else had. And I started to lose sight of what what mattered to me at that moment in time. And so I've had to do a lot of shifting in that degree. And um, and what works for some people is great. That doesn't work for me now at this time in my life. So like now I've got like a boatload of yarn, and a lot of it's just clearance yarn. I want to use it. I'm not going to get rid of it. I want to use it, but I have so much that I can't work through it fast enough. If you know what I mean. I have like 20, I think I have like 20 skeins of shawl in a ball. Okay. And different colors. I bought them all for $1. Okay. Like 5 years ago. I've got a whole bunch of, Lion Brand homespun. I've got a bunch of that, and I probably bought it for $1. And I was like, that's just for $1. I'm going to buy 20 skeins. You know? So I'm like, and this is a thing that I've done. It's like, oh, it's on clearance for $1. I'm going to buy like $20, $30 worth of it, And, so I'm like stuck with a butt ton of yarn. But I used to tell myself, um, and rationalizing it as like, well, I need to buy a bunch of it so it's all the same dye line. And make sure you have enough for a project. And then I get it and I'm like, what am I going to make with it? I don't know what I'm going to make with it, you know? So like even today, it's like I'm sitting there thinking like, okay, what can I make with this? Because I've got it. And then, I've done the Hobby Lobby clearance haul, and it's just like I got a skein of this and I've got a skein of that. But I bought it for like $1.25, and I've only got one skein of it. And I'm like, shoot, what am I gonna do with one skein of yarn? So I still have all that yarn. So it was just like for a little while there, I just went yarn buying nuts, and because I felt like it was like this need, this urge to go out and buy all the things, to buy all the yarn. And I really didn't have a purpose for it, not a true purpose, not a true intention. So and some of it was like the mystery packs. And so like, and I love a mystery pack. I do. I love me a mystery pack. I love the element of surprise. I was buying those up too, and I loved it. I still love a mystery pack. And it's fun, it's exciting, it's like Christmas, you just don't know what you're gonna get. You're gonna like it though, for the most part. And so it's just like, yeah, I had to really put the brakes on the whole yarn spending. I really did. It was just something I just had to do. So this is just what it's getting to be a lot. So right now I'm making this baby cardigans. So I think that I have one that I put out for sale, and it's a beautiful light baby green. And I finagled a hat to go with it. Like I made this little baby hat to go with it. It's a cute little hat. I have had it for sale for a year. No one's bought it. But I'm thinking like, what if I have more than one and have like several? And then because sometimes people don't like to buy that one thing. You know what I'm talking about? Like, oh, it's the only one. There's something wrong with it. And I think people naturally do this. This is a psychological thing about people. But if I had something similar to it in multiple colors, multiple sizes, just like you would have in a store, more people would be attracted to it. I don't know. So it's kind of an experiment in a weird way. So, but I went and bought a bunch of baby yarn because I thought like, oh, I'm going to be making like a butt ton of baby clothes. I haven't made any. I mostly make and sell amigurumi. That's usually what I make. But it's like, well, I don't want to make these, amigurumis that take a really long time. And, so I just got to work through my stash. And I think that's what I'm going to start doing. And making things with a purpose. And also I just need to clear it out. I really just need to clear it out. And, so that's kind of what I'm doing right now. But I'm also going with the mindset of like, the upcoming holiday, spring, Easter. You still need a sweater, because spring is funky weather. It can be warm, it can be cold. You just don't know. So I think a cardigan is really good for that. Even if it's hot outside, you go indoors, someone's blasting the AC and you're freaking cold. And if you have a baby, you want to make sure your baby is not too warm. It's great about crochet. It's got holes in it. It breathes. but it can also keep them warm as well. They can start regulating their heat just a little bit better, So that's what's great about crocheting concerning for children and infants, because they need to learn how to regulate their heat a lot easier, etc. So that is what's great about that, and so I just think it's a smart thing for me right now to make these baby cardigans, um, just to have a variety of them, and whatever is left over, if I have something, and I'll just make some baby booties, because I figure baby booties are fast and they would be cheap, and babies grow so darn fast, and you want to make something fast and cheap for a baby. People don't want to spend that much money on a baby, and unless it's an heirloom thing. And if you have an heirloom thing, you probably want it custom made, and you want to give it to somebody who's got, who's probably going to have a lot of children, you know, um, especially young mother, or somebody like that. Uh, you don't want to give it to somebody who's had a baby in their late 30s, 40s, because they're getting ready to not stop producing babies. So you definitely want to give it to somebody who's young, but then you want to you don't want to make it too old fashioned. You want to keep it more modern for the young modern mothers. So so it just depends on their aesthetic too. So anyway, yeah, because like some of the stuff that back when my daughter was a baby, um, I remember my mom like, look at this cute frilly thing, and I'd be like going, no, it's got ribbons and lace and bows on it, like, I don't want that, hey, how about this, it would have ruffles, but it wouldn't be like super lacy or super frilly, it would be more of a modern aesthetic, as opposed to what my mom used to like when she used to dress me, my sister up, so, or the fashion trend at the moment, so you just really kind of have to really kind of play with that too. And I think these hexicardis are really great modern pattern aesthetic, which is real popular right now. So, I think the choices that I've made is a good one. It's a good solid choice. So that's what I'm working on. So I'm working through my stash, working on product, for markets, spring coming up. But it also, it's a repetitive thing and works it pretty quick. I don't think the price is too expensive. Like I have for the newborn sized one that I have, I think it's 0 to 3 months. I think I would say 0 to 3 months. The first one I ever made with the hat. I dropped the price down to $45. I don't think I want to go any less than $45 for the hat and the sweater in combination. I was trying to sell it for $55, and I was trying to sell the sweater and the hat separately, but then I have it as a combo. I dropped my price down to $45. And the thing is like, it's okay to have something that's a little high price. You can always drop down the price. But it's amazing to me, like how something will sell a while down the road. Like I had this one amigurumi bunny, and before I even did markets, I had this amigurumi bunny, and I had made 2 of them, 2 different color yarns and everything. And I finally sold him like almost 2 years later, like a year and a half later. I finally sell him, and I was like so excited to my customer. I was like, oh my gosh, you're buying Bernie. He's like, his name's Bernie. I go, yes, he's Bernie. I've had him for a while. He was almost a mascot. So, yeah. So anyway, I'll put that away. Ouch, ouch, ouch. That hurt. Getting old sucks. All right. So, yeah, it's interesting how my personal journey has elevated to different directions than what I started out with, and I think that's okay. Like my journey is mine, and yours is yours, and need to figure out like who we are, where we're going, what we're doing, and how do you know you like or you don't like something until you try it, right? And so I hope you guys grow on your personal journeys. You know, I remember, when I was watching this young lady who I follow on here on YouTube, and I follow her also on Instagram, and I think on TikTok as well. And there are certain people I only follow on Instagram and I only follow on TikTok. Not everybody has a YouTube channel, okay? But she, the way she was talking, and I just kind of like, it reminded me of how I used to be, how we, in the beginning of being here on YouTube in the beginning. And I used to think like, oh my gosh, this is how I used to think, and I was like, oh my gosh, it made me kind of nostalgic, and I was watching it right before I came on today, but it was kind of funny and chuckling to myself, like, oh my gosh, it's how I used to be, and I remember how excited I used to be about all of this, and I lost a little bit of my my zeal for it a little bit. And I think that's just me personally, I want to get back into the excitement of it. I miss the camaraderie of my, my YouTube family. I miss it. I think I got a little bit too much into my head on some things. But I really kind of want to come back and get into, saying hey to everybody. But I'm just not into doing like, the whole trying to grab as many subscribers as possible. I want to be, authentic, and that's kind of what I want to do. I want to, bring my authentic self to you. I don't want to, be disingenuous. And I'm not saying other people are disingenuous. I just don't want to be disingenuous with you guys. Sometimes I feel like in the past I have been disingenuous, and that's just me personally. What am I going to do right here? But I'm working through it, um, I don't want to feel like I need to buy your affections with giveaways. I don't feel like I need to do that. I just want y'all just to be, here. I enjoy your content. I enjoy your company, and that's kind of what I want, I mean, I enjoy other people's content without having to be lured in with promises of getting a gift, I just don't feel like that's me, I don't want to, I don't want to be lured in by a giveaway anymore, And I know a lot of people are saying, "Oh, I just want to do it as a thank you gift," and I've done that, but I just don't want to do that anymore. I just, I just want you to interact with me, acknowledge me, and that's really kind of what I want. I want to acknowledge you. I want to interact with you, but I don't want to, to buy your affections, and so on and so forth. I don't want to buy somebody else's affections at all. Um, and I don't want anyone to buy mine. I don't want to be there just for, gain. What can this person give me other than, my attention? What's in it for me? What's the benefit of this relationship? And so sometimes you get to a point in your life and it's like, sometimes the benefit of a relationship is friendship and support. And it's not necessarily what that person can do for you in that regard, financially or monetarily, let's say financially, monetarily, it's the same damn thing. But what they can do for you mentally and emotionally. And sometimes you have to ask yourself this question, like, is this what I want out of this relationship with this person? And that can be, a person in your life, even with family members. Because sometimes, um, even family members, or you're kind of like, is this family member enhancing my life? And you feel like obligated to them because they're your family, but sometimes even family can stress you out, and you don't have to disown your family. I'm not saying that. I don't say you, but you can keep them at a distance, and you can have restrictions on, how you interact with that. You can't control that. So anyway. And it's the same thing with friends and coworkers and stuff like that. Like, some people are just not into being friends with their coworkers. It's just not their thing. That is not what they're into. Some people are like, here, I'm just here to work. I'm just here to make money. And some people are looking for that camaraderie of a workplace. And that's fine. You can do that. You can build relationships with people that you work with. But the thing is like, it's almost like, in a weird way, it's almost kind of like a marriage. When you work with your friends, it's like you've got to foster that relationship, and you're stuck with these people. Because if something goes wrong, then you're stuck with that person until either you move on or that person moves on. And that's the downside of that. So, but some people don't have a problem with that. And sometimes you meet people in the weirdest way and you just jive and y'all just have a great time. You're like, you're the long lost sibling I've never had. Or, maybe you even fall in love with that person. And there's nothing wrong with that. I have a workplace romance. I fell in love with my boyfriend from work. I would never have met him otherwise. Same thing with like school and college and things like that. Sometimes you just get put in positions and places where you really jive with somebody, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But then again, just like anything else, I just dropped my skein. And the yarn barfed on me. What was I going with this train of thought? I just lost it. Yeah, you can put the brakes on things. And if it gets too much for you, you can do that. It's okay. All right, kids. I'm almost going to do my edging here. Oh, I'm sore. I'm so sore. I also did the ab machine on Friday. It really worked out like the upper abs, like underneath my rib cage. Oh, so sore. But it's kind of a good thing because, at least you know that it's part of your body you worked out. Mm. So I'm bending over, grabbing things, bum elbow, sore arms, sore abs. Now, and I even did I did a few, like the leg curls, you like kind of lay on your belly and then you take on the machine and it kind of, you curl your legs up. That's not sore, which kind of makes me wonder if I'm doing it right. If I'm doing it right, then you're going to be sore. I don't know, that's what I've heard. But my youngest sister, she is really into fitness right now. And so she has just built her a home gym inside of her spare bedroom. And I was talking to her just the other day about it, and I told her, I was like, you know what? I need to come over and you show me how to do things, with form and everything with my form, because I want to start doing free weights instead of doing the machines. Because sometimes I feel like on the weight machines that I'm not doing. It restricts me in a way. It's not. I'm not saying that machines are bad. I was really just all about the machines for a little while there, but um, with doing the free weights, you have a little bit more control. As with the machines, you're only limited to the extension that the machine allows you to have. So it's amazing when you talk different things with different people and they kind of give you a different perspective on things. And so I'm just really kind of, next time I kind of, go over there and visit, she's probably going to help me out with that. Because I just don't think I'm getting the right kind of benefit out of the weight machine as I would think that I would do with free weights. And also with free weights, you can work out the different sides a little more evenly than you can with a weight machine. And what I mean by that, it's like, when I say evenly, like my right arm and shoulder are a lot stronger than my left. So if I want to work on my left side just a little bit more than my right, because it's a little weaker, it needs more strength. So I think that is what I need to do concerning free weights and things like that. I can work out one side just a little bit more than the other, because that way I can get even muscle definition, I guess. Or maybe that's what I mean. Like, I get a better muscle definition out of doing the free weights. So that's what I mean. But, I'm not going for vanity. I'm doing this for my health, for stamina. I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, that I'm going to go back to the Grand Canyon. And I want to get healthy to where I can go hiking at the Grand Canyon again. That is an amazing place. It is so beautiful there. I cannot express what a beautiful place that is. I want to be healthy so I can enjoy it. Beautiful place. I do encourage you guys to go see the parks in your areas. and just enjoy the beauty that is there. If you have an opportunity for it, just jump on it. I do encourage that. Excuse me. That's why I love camping. I love going camping. I enjoy just being out in the nature, just hearing the birds, smelling the fires from the the different campgrounds, and hearing families and the children laughing. And I don't know, it's just something about that. It's very relaxing for me. And to hear the wind in the trees. I love it. I love it. I love camping. But I always go camping up in Arkansas. I've done a little bit of camping here in Texas, and it's okay. But my sister was telling me about Lake Ray Roberts, and that's in North Texas, not too far from the Texas-Oklahoma border. And she says it's really nice. So I might go camping there sometime. But the best time to do that would be either in spring or late summer, early fall. That would be the best time to go because it's freaking hot here, man. You know, like if you go camping in the summertime, man, you're going to be roasting, toasting. I often ask myself these questions: how did the pioneers handle like the heat like that? Like, how the heck did they do it? Did I put a corner in that? See, that doesn't look good. See that right there? That little bump right there? That does not look good. Did I put a corner in that? Yes, I did. Okay. I gotta frog that back because it does not look good. All right. So that is where the that's the seam for the back, and this right here is the extra panels that I added right there. And at that spot, there's some double crochet where there's only like two, and it's not working out. So two double crochet at the ends of the rows instead, so that kind of, what if I skipped this one, go straight into this one? Will that work? But see, then it leaves like that configuration right there. See that little post stitch right there in between? Did I just do that? Yeah, I did. Okay. So how am I going to do this? Do I just totally skip that and just go into the next one? Anyway, my roommate is awake. And so I think I'm going to get off here. Also, my bladder's twitching. I plan to go potty. So I'm going to finish this row real quick. Let me check my work real fast and see how this looks. And see if that looks better. Yeah, that looks a whole lot better. Yeah. I don't think anyone's going to really notice it. And I'm just going to leave it like that. Oh, I got to sneeze too again. My allergies are crazy right now. Like the other day, I actually had like a sinus headache. And I was supposed to go visit my friend at the rehab facility that she's in. She had a stroke, and she stayed with me for about like 6 weeks or so. And she finally got submitted to this rehab facility to help her with her cognitive abilities and things like that. And I was supposed to go visit her last Sunday, and my allergies were so high, especially after being outdoor. You had such a nice sunny weekend last weekend, and I mean, we got up to like 82 on last Saturday. I know, right? February, 82 degrees. Crazy, right? Like this time last year, it was like ice and snow. Um, but we're supposed to have another freeze coming up here in a few days. Like it's supposed to it's supposed to rain, and then it's going to be drip down to the freezing temperatures, and then we're supposed to have frozen precipitation. You know, and I'm just like, ugh, okay, I've had enough. I don't want any more. I want spring. Give me spring. You know, I want sunny weather. You know, I don't want it to be hot. I don't want to be blistering hot. I just want sunny weather. You know, like yesterday, I was sitting there thinking like, oh, what I should be doing is going outside and doing some yard work. But it was so gray and misty yesterday, even though it was warmer yesterday than it is today. But it was like even today, it's kind of sunny, you know. Yesterday it was like all rainy and gloomy. Hmm. Hi, Jennifer. Jennifer, I think it's just you and I think Rudy. I think Rudy's hanging with me. How are you doing? Okay, so that looks so much better. But I'm actually fixing to get ready to skedaddle because I gotta go potty. I gotta listen to my body. Okay, so I am done with that part, and I think it looks a whole lot better. So what am I going to do? And then after this, I'm going to put a front post, back post edging all the way around to match my cuffs. And I'm going to try to finish this up today, and then I might add a tie to it. A tie that's real similar to this one. But then I need to take this tie off and do edging on this one. I just think it would look a lot better. I think it would look more finished. Anyway, I am going to get out of here, and I will see or talk to y'all maybe in a couple more days. We'll see. I am not on a schedule right now. I can't commit myself to a schedule. So anyway, I will see or talk to y'all later. Thanks for hanging with me, listening to me rant. Okay. But I hope to see y'all another time, and y'all have a good day. All right, bye. Ta-ta for now.